everyone. How are you doing today? My name is Dr. Iyabo. I'm a lifestyle blogger. I'm a speaker and author. My book is titled Permanent Happiness. It's on Amazon. I'm a women's conference host. I'm a board certified pediatrician and a pediatrician entrepreneur. And I'm a lifestyle coach for women. And I hope you tuned in last Sunday with Ekene and I on the launch of my Instagram Live talk series that I've titled Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo. If you missed out on it, you better go to my Instagram page and you better go and watch that video. Actually, it's on my YouTube page as well. I've already uploaded it onto YouTube. There's 2 parts to the video. We talked about it's not always him. Common mistakes that women also make in relationships. It's a powerful chat that I had with my friend Ekene. There's many gems you can learn from it. So make sure you tune in and you go and watch those 2 videos. Okay, as you can tell, I'm still on the relationship talk. I did put out a post last week that the 2 most common topics that younger women I say from about 45 downwards, that they message me about are 2 main things: relationships and money, relationships and finances. And most of the relationship questions they have are the romantic ones, whether they're single with their boyfriend or married. And not really platonic relationships. I probably only had 1 or 2 people that have messaged me about parental relationships, but those are the 2 hot topics that we women just stress about and cause us so much pain. So my mission, as you already know, my mission is to help women live a purpose-driven life and a fulfilling life coupled with financial freedom, because that's where you're going to find your happiness and your peace. So I'm trying to get the lighting right here. You see, when I do this, I open my shutters a lot more. It kind of brightens one side of my face and makes the other one dark. And then if I close it, the lighting is more uniform on my face. So that's how you play around with lighting. But anyway, back on topic. So I'm coming on today to talk about a very important conversation that will save your dating life. Single women, divorced women, a lot of you are dating the wrong way. You're doing too much. You're doing too much in your relationships. Women always, as women, we think that if we buy him gifts, call him a lot, text him a lot, chase him around the place, then he'll feel like we're really interested, and that's going to make him want us more. Nope, that doesn't work. A lot of women get that wrong, and unfortunately they get it wrong when they're dating. They marry that guy, they've molded that guy to believe that, and then they get married to him, and that guy has already gotten used to that kind of treatment, and it stresses them out in their marriage. So let me get to it. Men don't like being chased, okay? So I'm a feminist. Look, I'm all about feminine power, feminine empowerment. Look, that's the basis of what I'm doing here. I'm trying to empower women. But on the other hand, I also still have some conservative values, because it's just the way we're wired. Men and women are wired differently. I'm a feminist, but I'm a feminist with some exceptions. I'm a feminist, but I don't believe that because I'm a feminist, I should go out and start chasing men because I want to exert my feminine power. Then that's not your feminine power. You're actually living in your masculine power. And you can go to my friend Ekene, she'll piece it down for you into feminine and masculine energy. So you still have to sit in your femininity and sit pretty and just be a lady, be a woman, and let the man chase you. If you're doing all the chasing, how are you going to know if he likes you or not? I'm moving close to the camera so you can see I'm really serious about this. How are you going to know that he likes you if you're doing all the chasing? You're not going to know. And men sometimes get lazy. They'll just be like, yeah, this woman really wants me. You're boosting his ego, you're rubbing his ego, and he'll propose to you just because. And then when you get married to him, his eyes are outside. He's out the door looking for women he can actually chase, because you did the chasing. You didn't let him chase you. You showed him so much. You wanted him. You kind of, I don't want to say forced him into marriage. You can't really force anybody to anything. But he may have seen some conveniences in you, gotten married to you, and then once you're married, it seemed you were so easy to get. And I'm not saying easy as in prostitution. No, please don't get this wrong. I mean, you showed him so much that you couldn't live life without him. You got married to him, and then men are built, they're inherently chasers. They want to chase. So when you get married, he gets bored with the idea that you want him so much, then he's out the door looking for somebody he can chase. So I always want to give examples just so that this is easy to understand, okay? So when you're dating a guy, obviously, I'll give you this example. My husband and I, Neil, met on Match.com. I actually messaged him. So those of you who don't like online dating, it's fine. Online dating is the same thing as dating in person. Even there's people that have told me, oh, but there's murderers online. There's murderers in real life as well. You just have to pray to God that he brings you a good man. You can meet a guy at Starbucks or at the grocery store. Somebody can even introduce a guy to you, and he's a woman beater and he's a murderer. You just have to use your intuition and pray to God. Yeah, there's crazy men and crazy people everywhere, online, offline, they're everywhere. So we met online, but I messaged him. I took the first step. I messaged him, and as soon as I messaged him and he saw me and he was so, drawn into me, then I stepped back. That was the only thing I did. I just messaged him, and then after that, he started planning the dates. On our second date, he looked at me across the table and he said he knew that he probably could get married to me. I don't know if it was second or third date. And we got serious, after that, and we both removed our profiles from Match.com, and everything else is history. But the only thing I did was make the first move, and then I stepped back into my femininity. And I'll tell you something funny. Around 9 or 12 months when we'd been dating, he told me, he said, Iyabo, I've never met any woman like you. I said, why? He said, do you know that I'm the one who texts and calls you all the time? He said, I can show you my phone. You've probably only texted me a handful of messages, and we've been together almost 1 year. He said, you don't call me to find out what I'm doing, where I am, that most women, will text you all the time and they're curious. They want to know where you are, what are you doing? I said, we both started laughing. I'm like, you know what? I'm wiser now. I've read many relationship books, and I understand my value. And I know that I don't need to be chasing you around. Why should I be looking for what you're doing? Even if we're married, I'm not going to do that. I said, you know what? I have value. He's like, what do you know? We just laughed about it. But really, honestly speaking, I wasn't playing games with him. But I saw no reason why I should be chasing a guy. And a lot of you women do that. You're texting him, what are you doing? Where are you? When am I going to see you? You're planning the dates. Should we go here, there, to tomorrow? Should we do this? Let the guy chase you. How are you going to know if he's really into you? It feels wonderful when we were dating, Neil texts me every single day. Probably once or twice or 3 times. When we were not together, spending the day together, he did the texting, he did the calling. I rarely had to call him. He himself had to bring it up that, wow, you're a special woman. You don't even look for me. You don't want to know what I'm doing. I'm like, why should I? I said, I'm busy myself. I said, I'm blogging, I'm writing, I'm reading, I'm resting, I'm walking. So that's number one. You guys chase these men, so you don't give them the chance to show you how precious and how valuable you are. And it's because of what society has made marriage to be, because we all think marriage is this thing that is a must. If you don't get married, then you haven't, you're not a success, or you haven't achieved in life, or you're a failure, or whatever. It's just another label. My most important label in life is I'm God's daughter. Honestly, it's not that I'm a pediatrician or a blogger. All those things I said in the beginning, yes, those are labels. But for me, I have value because I'm God's child, and he made me fearfully and wonderfully. And I don't need to chase a man around. A man who wants me will show me that he wants me. So you guys always get too scared and too nervous that, oh, maybe he's with another woman. Maybe he's cheating on me. Why isn't he coming? Let me tell him I'll make him a real nice dinner. Let me buy the wine. Let me do. Stop it, women. Stop it. Get busy with your life. Show a man that you have value. Get busy with your life, so that this man will know that with him or without him, you'll be fine. It's not that, and I'll get to tactics, because some of you are probably thinking, well, that's too independent. How do I show him that I like him? There's a way to do this. But stop planning dates, stop texting guys over and over. Where are you? What are we doing? Should we go out tonight? Men will plan dates. They will bring you flowers if they're the flower guy. And if he doesn't bring you flowers, it's not the end of the world. It's okay. If everybody's like, you didn't buy me. As long as the guy is around you. Again, I know there's many love languages. I'm not sure. I have my things about those love languages. Some people get way into it. And I think it's not that clear cut. It's not that black and white. But stop chasing men. Stop it. A lot of you know what I'm talking about. You're cooking for these men every day. You don't even have a ring on your finger. You're cooking for them. You're going shopping, standing in the kitchen. It's just now with COVID that we're cooking. Before COVID, when I went to Neil's house, he would cook. I would sit in the living room reading a book, and he would be cooking. He would lay the table and we'll eat. And once in a while, I would cook there, but I'll cook something simple. Just pop some salmon steaks in the oven. I wasn't doing. You don't have to overdo it. You have to sit in your femininity with confidence and let the guy chase you. Don't chase him around with phone calls and texts and all that. Please don't do it. I know I'm repeating myself, but this is so important. You have to be busy with your life. Marriage is not the beginning and end of your life. What about your job, your hobbies, your creativity? There were times that I'd be walking. When we were still dating and he wasn't around me, and I'll go out for a walk to Chastain Park or whichever park. And because I'm walking and I'm just trying to think and just have quiet time, he would call me and I wouldn't answer. Not because I was playing games, but because it was my quiet time. So I didn't rush to pick up the phone. You don't always have to be available. You don't have to drop everything you're doing. You don't have to cancel outings with your friends because you want to be with this man all the time. Show him that you have a life, and it's not like you're acting, but actually have a life. During my 10 single years, I had a good life. I was doing well. I was blogging, I was writing, speaking at the United Nations 3 times. I was doing well. I met many guys who I knew that, I did go out on quite a few dates. I was online, and I didn't, just settle for any guy. I kissed many frogs before I found my husband, because I knew that I had values and I knew what I wanted, and I wasn't just going to settle. So stop chasing guys. Let them do the work. Stop buying men gifts. Stop it. Stop it. You don't need to buy men cologne and perfume and stop buying them gifts. Stop doing that. Stop buying their love. Let them show you that they really like you, because you're training them. You're setting your boundaries from the time you're dating, so that when you get married, they already know who you are. Another boundary that I set when we were dating, and I don't know exactly, I was trying to remember, I asked him, he couldn't quite remember. But another thing I told him when we met was that I do want to get married again. So I'm not one of those women. By the way, I told him, I said, I'm 48 years old. We met in January of 2018. I was 48. I said, I'm 48 years old. I was actually 47 then. I turned 48 in April after we met. I said, aside from me being 47, I'm not one of these women that just want to date indefinitely. I'd like to get married. Again, marriage may not be your thing. You may just want a long-term relationship, but I really longed for marriage. I wanted to get married again. So I told him, it was within the first year of our dating. I don't remember exactly when. I said, look, if you're one of those men who don't want to get married ever, you're not for me. So let's quickly, resolve that one. I must have been in the first 3 months or so. And then I said, I'm also not in this to date you for 5-8 years and give you a long time to decide what you want. I told him, it wasn't an ultimatum. He's like, oh, you're giving me an ultimatum. I said, it's not an ultimatum. I'm just telling you the truth. so that, we'll know what we're both in for. I said, after 2 years, you should have made up your mind if you want to get married to me or if you want to be in this. I said, because I'm not, I said, obviously, I'm not going to propose to you. I'm a woman and I'm still quite conservative when it comes to that. I know they say a few women are proposing to men now. Sorry, that's not me. But I did tell him, I said, I'm not going to go on some prolonged dating thing with you. I said, once we're getting close to 2 years or 2 years plus, around the 2 year mark, and you still don't know what you're doing, I said, I'm gone, because I want to get married and that's what, I'd like to do. So I told him that, and he knew and he agreed, and he proposed to me in October 2019. We met in January 2018. So that was under 2 years. He quickly did it, like 3 or 4 months before our 2 year anniversary. But, he knew what he wanted. He told me, like I said, very early on, second or third date, that, he really liked me and that, and he could see us getting married. And I started to really like him and fall in love and all that. Another thing I told him, another boundary I told him was that I'm not moving in with you and you're not moving in with me until we get married. That's another huge mistake a lot of you women are making. I'm tired of getting those messages. It's not like that I'm tired of hearing from you, but I want you guys to start doing it right. If you're giving a man all the advantages of marriage before marriage, he's not going to think he needs to propose to you, let alone get married to you. Let me explain. I told Neil when we met, I said, we can spend the night with each other at some point, back and forth. I said, but let me get it clear to you now. I'm not even moving in with you, and you're not moving in with me when we're engaged. I said, we're going to tie the knot before we move in with each other and start living together. Yes, because that's how you show a man that you're highly valuable and that you show him what your marriage values are. You're not going to give him the benefits of marriage before he gets married to you. So many of you are dating guys and you've already bought, you're not even engaged. You're buying her. And meanwhile, you want marriage. Okay, it's okay if you don't want to get married. I'm not judging anybody here. It's not every woman that wants to get married. But if marriage is really important to you, if you're dating a guy and you've already bought a house with him, or you've moved in all your stuff, you've canceled the lease on your apartment, you've moved in with him full time, and then you come to me and you're like, oh, Dr. Iyabo, what can I do? It's been 6 years since we've been dating. We live together and he won't propose, and he keeps saying he will, but he won't. I tell you straight, I tell you as it is, this guy is never going to propose to you. So the only thing you can do at this point is count your losses and either stay with him and know you're never going to get married, or just leave him and move on to the person who's going to propose to you, because he's never going to get married to you. You've given him all the benefits of marriage without marriage. A lot of you do it. Or you move in, you leave your apartment with your friends that you were sharing with, you move in with a guy, and when you're engaged and you're not yet married, you haven't set a date. Even if you've set a date, sometimes men cancel weddings. Wait till you exchange your vows, walk down the aisle, and you have your marriage certificate before you move in with him. Otherwise, he will not marry you. Engagement is not marriage, guys. Engagement is just engagement. It's not marriage. So if you move in with a guy just because you're engaged, and then he keeps postponing and postponing and postponing the wedding, he's doing that because you've given him the marriage advantages before marriage. So you guys are doing a lot of things wrong. You're chasing guys, you're buying them gifts. That's what a guy should be doing for you, but you're doing all the work for him. You're cooking him meals, sweating in the kitchen, all my Nigerian sisters, jollof rice, pounded yam, this and that, cooking for him, standing in the kitchen, even cooking for his friends. Some of you do that. You're dating a guy, you're cooking. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that once in a blue moon, but doing it all the time, then you're going to continue that when you get married. When you get married, you're going to be the cook in the kitchen, standing there sweating, cooking, cleaning, doing everything, and he and his friends will sit down and eat all the food, drink beer, and you'll be the cook and the cleaner. That's not the life you want. At least that's not the life I want for you, because you need to be equal partners with your husband. And that's something you're going to start from when you're dating. Okay, so whatever it is that you want in your life later is what you're going to start now. Stop chasing them, stop asking, texting them, what are you doing? Where are you? Why aren't you coming? Why aren't you spending time with me? If a guy isn't calling you, listen well, ladies. If a guy isn't calling you, he hasn't lost his memory, he's not in a car accident. It's in my book. People who read that part of my book laugh all the time. He didn't fall down and break his head. He didn't lose your number. He's not calling you because he doesn't want to call you. That's it. So stop deceiving yourselves into it. If a guy loves you, oh my goodness, he'll make you feel good. He'll be texting you, calling you. You know, it's just he'll be planning the dates. You will know, and it'll make you feel so good. But you women, some of you take the task away from the man, and it completely ruins your relationship. So please stop doing that. I also personally will advise you, if you really do want to get married, don't move in with a guy until you get married. Neil and I spent the night with each other. Again, depending on what your religion or anything or your beliefs, you know, are your moral values, we spent the night with each other, but we didn't leave even a toothbrush in each other's houses. I own my house, he owns his house. But he owned his house. Now we live together, of course. Now that we're married, of course. But we never left a toothbrush in anybody's house. I didn't leave my toothbrush in his house. He didn't leave. Everything we brought in for the night, we packed and we took it away, because I told him that that's a boundary for me. I'm not moving in with you until I tie the knot with you. He said, not even engagement. I said, no. He's like, Iyabo. I said, but that's me. But it works. It works. So I hope I've talked a lot for 20 minutes, but I get so many messages from you women. Some of you are in early marriages, 2, 3, 4 years married, and when you tell me the problems you're having, it's because you got it wrong from when you were dating. So imagine if you're dating a guy, and the guy tells you on a date, and he tells you, you know what, I want you to get married to me, and when you get married to me, I want you to cook all my meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I want you to clean up the house by yourself. I want you to take care of the kids. I want you to also go to work and earn money, and I want you to just take care of all those things. I'm not going to help you. Will you stay with that guy, or will you run? Or will you run? Okay, but even though that guy isn't telling you that when you're dating, you are actually doing all that while you're dating. Even though you don't have kids, then the guy gets used to it, and then when you get married and the guy sits down on the sofa with his legs up and you're doing everything and he doesn't help, you wonder why. But it's because you didn't set your boundaries. It's because you didn't tell him, because you were chasing him, cooking, doing all those things for him. There's nowhere in the Bible that says women should suffer and be slaves. Nowhere it says that. So please stop chasing these guys. Set your boundaries. Let them know. It's very nice to cook when you're single and dating. When you have 2, 3, 4 kids running around, and you also have to cook and clean and drive them here and there and there, that's why there's so many exhausted women, married women, and that's why there's so many marriages that are failing and so much cheating, because then you can just picture what happens. Husband is stressed out, wife is stressed out, you're not helping me, you're helping me. The guy doesn't have peace in the home. Then he goes out and meets the next girl who's going to rub his back and give him a massage and dress sexy for him, and is not chasing him, and he calls her and takes her out on dates, and then he comes back home to just stay like as if he's in a hotel, and then goes back out. It's because I'm not trying to blame women here. There's many men that have problems, and that's why I'm saying you give yourself time to date them, time to set your boundaries. If you set your boundaries, if you tell a guy all these things, or you don't cook for him, and he says, oh, can I come to your house to eat? And you say, no, I'm sorry that I'm busy. I have a lot of work to do. I have a project I'm working on. I'm blogging. I have to go for a walk. I have to go to the gym. I'm sorry I can't cook for you. So we can go out to eat. Or you can say, do you want to do the cooking? That's how you do it. If he asks you, and if this guy gets angry at you and says, what kind of woman is this asking me to cook? Don't you know a woman's role? Then you run a mile. But at least by then, you're not committed to him, you're not married. These are the things you look for and you test while you're dating. But if you're doing everything, then when you get married, you're going to continue doing everything. Okay, if you're the one who's very affectionate towards him when you're dating, and he's not affectionate meaning, I don't know, you get what I'm saying. If you're the one kissing him and touching him and just being lovey touchy feely, and you're very physically attracted to him, and he's not reciprocating it, and he's a bit distant, then you can tell that you're probably not going to be sexually compatible. Or maybe he may not even be physically attracted to you and he's just pretending. Take note of all these things. If you're chasing a man and he's not chasing you back, when you get married, it's going to be worse. He's going to be living his life outside and just coming home to sleep as if it's a hotel. So listen to this video over and over and over. And if you need to ask me more questions, then you have to book a coaching session with me. I'm willing to work with you to find the man of your dreams. But you women are doing it wrong from the beginning. Okay, we blame men. They don't do anything. They don't want to help. They don't want to. But it's what we have spoiled them with from the beginning. That's it. That's why you wonder, you see some men cheating and you see who they're cheating with and you're like, his wife is even prettier, better looking than her. It's not just about pretty. It's not just about having the best body. But sometimes men want peace, and when there's too much fighting in the family, he's not doing this, he's not helping, he's not cooking, he's not cleaning. Then they go outside to look for a woman who has time for them, who gives them peace, who all of that, and they can chase. Men love to chase, but you did all the chasing, he married you, and then now you're left with this guy who won't do anything. I'm not blaming women for everything. There's a lot of men out there who also need a lot of internal work, but that's why when you're dating, you set your boundaries, you know exactly what you want. You say it in a nice feminine way. I'm not saying that you be arrogant and masculine about it. Say it in a nice feminine way. I'm not moving in with you till we get engaged. And if he thinks you're joking, you'll say, honey or love, I'm honestly not joking. I'm not moving in with you. Oh, Auntie, why don't you like cooking? A lot of women cook for their boyfriends. You'll say, you know what, I'm really busy. I don't cook that much. I'm blogging, I'm working, I don't cook that much. And even if we do get married, we're both either going to have to cook and share the work, or we're going to have to use a meal service, because I have a lot that I'm also doing with my career and all that. You have to say it as it is. Don't cook him 10 meals a day and think when you get married he's going to start helping you. It's not going to happen. Stop buying men's love. Stop buying them gifts. Stop cooking for them. Tell them your boundaries while you're dating. And if he shows a negative reaction, run and look for another man. Don't let your heart be completely sold emotionally to a man before you know. I'm not saying you shouldn't love a man. I fell in love with my husband now quite early in the relationship, but that didn't mean that I still wasn't getting to learn him and talking about the things I like, looking at the things he likes, and knowing that I was knowing what I was going into, So you guys be careful. Okay, and those of you who are already married, who are already in a messy situation where you're tired, you and your husband are distant, sleeping in separate bedrooms, and it's not good, there's many things you can do. Try to talk to him that you're tired and you guys should put money together to ask for help. You can hire meal service. Those of you who are Nigerians, you can get a Nigerian caterer, order the food from the Nigerian caterer, store some in the freezer and the fridge to help you out so you're not cooking every day. Nigerian meals are hard to cook, especially those of us who live outside of Nigeria. It's hard. You go to farmers markets, you prepare this, prepare that. It's not easy. You'll age and you'll get tired. I have gray hair, but at least I'm 50. You'll get gray hair from 25 if you're not careful. You'll get deep wrinkles. You'll be tired. You'll gain a lot of weight because you're not eating well. You're not sleeping well. So try and talk to him calmly and say, can we please get help? Can we get a nanny? Can we get a babysitter? Somebody that can drive these kids around because I'm tired. And if he doesn't want to talk, he doesn't want to do all that, try to go for counseling. And if he still doesn't want to go for counseling and your marriage is going bad, then it's up to you. I'm not going to tell you the next thing to do. It's up to you. But no woman deserves to be chronically sad, depressed, and live a terrible life because of a man. Okay? No woman deserves that. Some of you are in terrible marriages. Your husbands are calling you names. Your self-esteem has crashed. You're crying all the time. You're sad and you feel stuck. You're not stuck. Why are you stuck? I was in a very unhappy marriage. I couldn't see. We tried counseling. I moved on with my life and here I am. Okay? Please, it's not the end of the world. This is not a video to encourage women to get divorced. This is a video to encourage women to date right from the beginning so they don't have marriage problems. And if you're already in a bad marriage where you've tried everything you can and you're like sinking every day, I get messages from some of you like that, it's time for you to move on. But please pray, try counseling, try talking to your husband, try to hire help to help you so you're not so tired. But if it's not helping, if your husband's still cheating on you, living his life outside, you're sleeping in separate bedrooms, that's not the way for any woman to live. So I'm going to end it here because this is already 30 minutes long. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you. And I pray that you continue to find comfort and peace and, just live a happy, lovely, free life, because that's what God wants for you. Okay? And if you're feeling suicidal, please call the suicide hotline wherever you are, which country you're watching it from. If you're being physically abused, please call the hotline. Please call the hotline for women's physical abuse. There's a lot of help you can get, or call your primary care physician or call your psychiatrist or therapist. Please don't lose your life because of a man, or call me and I'll help you. But if you're feeling suicidal, don't call me. Call the suicide hotline. Call somebody close to you that can help you in any part of the world that you're in. There's a lot of help. Just Google and say suicide hotline or physical abuse. Please, women, stop living with chronic physical, emotional abuse. There's a way out. There's many men out there who will be wonderful to you. Okay? You're not stuck. Nobody's tying you down. You're not in captivity. So take care. I love you all. I will see you on the next video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you love this video, please tell your friends to subscribe. And I will see you on Instagram at my next tea time on August 23rd. I'll be releasing the name of the person tomorrow, but you who also are already signed to my mailing list know the person I'm having as my guest on August 23rd, and I have a lot of other wonderful guests lined up for the next several Sundays on Instagram Live, and I will be doing more videos on YouTube, so ask your friends to subscribe. And if you love this video, please give me a high five on the video. Okay, take care, guys. I love you all. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.